What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Tuesday, April 28th to all of you. Thank you for watching the Morning Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Going after our 7th straight winning day today. Feels very good. It's very important. We must stack. Now, it wasn't a huge winning day, but any day in the black is a good day. Easier to sleep in the black. And it was all because of the Golden Knights. Golden Knights take care of business there. With that late goal, I had the plus 240 live after they went down 4-3. So Howden's deflection in had me pumped up, and then victory, sweet victory. So sweep NHL, go 1-1 in NBA. Being very wrong about that Pistons, Goracle and Dutchy getting that bag about the Nuggets. Actually, the Nuggets we only covered by a point. Became a sweat at the end, but we got the bag. That's what's important. Razor sharp picks again, catching that second period over in the Knights game. That's 15 straight. And a bunch of you guys were with Razor on that first half over. Team total, Nuggets team total over. I believe it was 56.5, 57.5, and they scored 60 in first half. So all coming together. Thank you guys for joining us. We got Justin McKelvey, Stacks Plays of the Day 1 and 2 in business. Comms, clips, ready to get to work. Ronnie Lofton, Wine Time Sports, Chappie Funk, and of course I'm joined alongside by the backbone of Pub Sports Radio, who was also burning the midnight oil last night, as there was a lot of late night action that we were involved in. Mr. Jose Bouquet, how are you, Jose?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm happy that the White Sox won. I guess it was worth it staying up, but I did want to blow my brains out watching the Marlins, so that was also fun.
I got 4-2 going in the ninth. I just, the battle never ceases to intrigue. Maybe that's the best way of putting it. This battle that we face each and every day is there's a lot of corruption in what we do, and yet I find our battle that we face each day so honest. It's such an honest battle here, capping as hard as possible to find these angles that then we invest in. I find it an absolute joy to attack each and every day with you guys, knowing that you have my back, regardless of the outcome. And now we're going for our 7th straight winning day, which we must deliver here. Kelly McInnes ready to go. We have AM Nasty Nate, fresh off cashing in the poker game last night. Philly Eagle Flyer, The Solution. Jay Peasy in the house, and there is Big Show picks as well. We have Locker Room Talk podcast premiering this very evening. I'm pumped up about all of this. Name says still 3 games with undecided pitchers. Yes, it has wreaked a bit of havoc on today's card, but it's time to get right to work, Mr. Bouquet. It is time to get right to work, and I'm pumped up about this card. And we laid down the foundations for success last night. I came in with 2 MLB bets. I left with 8. I added 6. I added 2 more today. There's a few spots I still want to attack. There is Wine Time Sports says when the Angels go up multiple runs and they go to the bullpen, just fade the Angels every time live. Thankfully, they didn't open up the floodgates until the 6th inning, so we cashed our first 5 with the Angels here. 3-3 day in MLB, 1-1 in NBA, but 2-0 in NHL, which got us the bag. Let's get to work, Jose Bouquet. I'm pumped up. I'm going for 7 today, so let's get after it and let's get it, Jose. Set a table, my friend, and let's attack.
All right, well, let's get after it here. Shout out to everyone in the chat here. Appreciate all y'all being in here. And don't forget as well, today is the start of the sesh. Weekly sesh or daily sesh, I guess. Yeah. So shout out to them. They'll be on at noon Eastern time after us, guys. So be prepared for that. But let's talk about our first game on the board here. Tampa Bay Rays, Cleveland Guardians here. I have Dick Martinez versus Tanner Bybee here. And opener at minus 115 at Bet Online. Quickly got up to minus 135 here. Currently sitting at that now. Heritage opened up at minus 122. It's gotten up to minus 136 there as well. In this game, we have 54% of the bets on Cleveland, 54% of the money on Tampa Bay, 72% of the bets on the under, and 70% of the money on the over in this game. Interestingly enough, this total has, and I'm going to refresh one more time just to make sure, seems like we've gone down a half run. It was juiced under 8 minus 120. Now it's minus 110 each way at Bet Online for 7.5.
Yeah, I like this game quite a bit. I'm fans of both of these pitchers. I think it's going to be extremely enjoyable. Let's set the tone here. I've moved on 2 different bets on this game. I'm on the first three under 2.5 minus 125, and I'm on the Guardians money line. I probably could have waited a little bit for the Guardians money line, as there has been some buyback. We have AM on the other side. He's on the over 7.5 here in this spot. A progressive field here, minus 3% runs, plus 1% homers, minus 9% doubles and triples, minus 1% singles. Slick Nick Martinez has been excellent this year. 2.10 ERA, 1.10 WHIP through 30 innings. Does have a 4.65 xERA, but I do believe in him. I do believe he's looked great on the road. He's just been great in every situation. He's coming off his best start of the year, 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, 1 walk, 8 innings. Did throw 95 pitches. His previous high was 88. I'm a Bybee believer. I'm a Bybee backer, especially at home. I really love him at home. He's coming off a 2-0 loss at home, but he was great, 6 innings, 2 earned runs. Let them right off the first inning, I believe, and then he just completely shut them down. These bullpens, I think, are better than their numbers indicate. 5.27 ERA, 1.41 WHIP for the Rays, 4.55 ERA, 1.28 WHIP for the Guardians. There's Wasabi J in the house. Says, need some locks for my birthday. Let's get this cash. Wasabi J, happy birthday. Copied and pasted. Our birthday picks are running extreme. Well, let's not talk about it, but they're working. Let's just leave it at that. I don't want to get caught up in streaks, even though I did tell you guys I'm going for 7 straight winning days. I do think, though, that when you do talk about succeeding and you are winning, you take less risks. You make more educated, thoughtful decisions, and I hope that's the case for me. Here I'm on the Guardians money line and the first 3 under 2.5, Mr. Bouquet. Actually, I'd be curious to see if this line is moved against me. The first 3 line moves are very telling, and I know we got to work very quickly here on this show, but this is game 1. We want to get this all started out with a glory. The first 3 under 2.5, same as the same, minus 125. Just sitting there exactly where I got it. Irish King in the house off another massive day. Love to see it. Am says he doesn't see any pitchers as elite. Yeah, I agree there. I don't say. Oh, I think that Bybee is capable at some point, but says both of these lineups do their best work for right-handed pitching. 2 shaky bullpens, also wind blowing left-right, should be more offensive for these left-handed hitters. Yeah, no, I don't. I think it's all your angles on this one are completely valid. But for me, first 3 under 2.5, Guardians money line. Jose, let's roll on.
All right, we roll on to Houston Astros, Baltimore Orioles here. I mean, what a game the Orioles allowed the Red Sox to have the other day. So shout out to them. We appreciate that. I want to bet against one of my buddies as well in the series, so I appreciate that. We've got Kai-Wei Teng versus Shane Baz, the old wizard here, who I still have not updated his hat, but looks good nonetheless here. 52% of the bets, 66% of the money on Kai-Wei Teng, which is kind of surprising to me. 64% of the bets on the over. 52, is it? Let me double check. Yes, 52% of the money on the under in this game. I don't know. I'm not a Kai-Wei Teng guy. I do generally trust the Astros system and their pitching infrastructure to get people going. He was a former Giant. He's pitched 2 innings, 2 2/3 at most this year. So I'll update RotoWire real quick just to double check and see. No primary listed there either. So we'll see 2-3 innings of him, and we'll see how it goes. It seems 2 cents of movement toward the Orioles. Not much appealing to me in this game, Jimmy. What do you think?
It was the same way I felt. It was pretty difficult spot. Minus 2% runs, minus 13% homers, plus 1% doubles and triples, plus 7% singles. AM says gas can Baz. I still think that the jury is deliberating on Baz. 5.08 ERA, 1.55 WHIP. His xERA is 4.34. They gave up a lot for him. He doesn't look great to start the year by any stretch of the imagination. 23 strikeouts and 10 walks. Not the K to walk ratio you would like. He generally walks too many batters. 64 walks over 166 in the third last year. He's coming off back-to-back starts where he allowed 4 earned runs. He has allowed 11 earned runs over his last 3 starts. That's covering 17 and a third. Again, walked 7 batters over that time period. we have Justin McKelvey joining AM. Justin McKelvey, Stacks play of the day. Number one is the over 9 here in this game. So AM and Justin lockstep here. And let's get this day started seeing what we're fighting for. And that's that shmoney.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
Astros bullpen has been a train wreck, though. 6.31 ERA, 1.70 WHIP. I kind of think that as people sort of leave Boz alone or disregard him, I will have interest in backing him. I don't want to fade bad bullpens on bullpen day. Just been something that's crushed me. So you can't simplify these things. You got to go over the exact bullpen usage and who you have scripted to come out here. RPG says Orioles bats and bullpen is better than Houston. I certainly agree with the bullpen, but bats I don't agree with at all. Astros versus righties 260, 789 OPS. Orioles versus righties 244, 733. If you go Orioles versus lefties 222, 687. The Astros bats. I mean, if it wasn't for the Astros bats, I mean, how many games have they won this year? 5. I think Astros bats are the real deal. The pitching is a huge problem. We'll see how this all bangs out. I'm off of this spot. I want Polo here on Astros -1.5. So there you see a capper fading his team, and nobody knows their team better than you, and that's a spot there. Keep an eye on that. Von Polo fading his Orioles here. Todd Clinton says, I believe both teams can score 3 runs each. Yeah, I think it's all viable. I'm off of this spot. I think there's a lot of volatility. I couldn't come up with the right script, and I'm curious to see what to do with Boz. I guess I've always felt that way, not knowing exactly what to do with him, maybe having him in my head a little bit higher than his numbers legitimize. Let's roll on.
Let's roll on to Rockies Reds here. Rockies coming off of a nice sweep of the old New York Metropolitans there. It was pretty funny to see. And maybe my former manager might be a New York Mets soon. Who knows? We've got Kyle Freeland versus Chase Burns here, -194. Opener at BetOnline is still there now. Total is still a juice 9 to the under here. We have, and by the way, on some sites I'm seeing undecided, but I see Kyle Freeland. Let me know if you guys have someone else. 64% of the bets and 78% of the money on the Reds here. Not much line movement, like I mentioned. 80% of the bets on the under, 57% of the money on the over.
And we had expected Sugano on our show last night, and now it's Freeland. He's coming off the IL. He'd gotten off to such a great start this year. I'm not entirely, it's not a comfortable thing backing a pitcher right off the 15-day IL, especially when he gets off to an excellent start. So I certainly have some reservations wanting anything to do with Kyle Freeland, but there's no getting around, how good he has been this season. So he didn't take a rehab assignment. He threw a simulated game on Wednesday, and it's shoulder inflammation. It's not a comfortable thing to back him, despite him looking so good this year. So good. I mean, it is. Have we ever seen him look like this before? It feels like it's all going to fall apart here. We got Troy Torrance rocking with us. Says, do we not want Freeland here? Great American ballpark for a pitcher who's not been pitching. Matty Ice here saying, fade a pitcher for start off DL or IL always. And we remember in spots where Peter Loshak wouldn't do that was when it wasn't an arm issue, when it was a groin or a toe or something like that. But this time we are dealing with a pitcher who had it going on. I think that is the situation that you kind of fade. Plus 11% runs, plus 20% homers at Great American Ballpark today, plus 2% doubles and triples, minus 3% singles. What did you say the line move has been to the Rockies? And can you kind of see at what point we knew who was pitching? If that did anything to the line, Jose?
BetOnline opened this up at 9:25 this morning.
Okay.
So that they did not.
Case.
Yeah, they didn't open it up until they got Kyle Freeland confirmed, it seems. Heritage here opened up at minus 205 at 10:35 last night and really didn't move at all at minus 202 now. So
very, very expensive.
Seems like no one really gives a fuck who's pitching for the Rockies today.
Cincinnati Reds weighted runs created by against left-handers. Could you give me that? You can decide what 15-day, 30-day, season-long, however, whatever you think is most or prudent in this situation.
The Reds against lefties this month so far, they have 169 plate appearances. They're 111 weighted runs created plus, is seventh best in the league. And by the way, 169 is the second lowest amount of plate appearances against lefties this month.
Chase Burns' last start at home was spectacular. He's only had one bad start. Now, it did come at home versus the Angels. It was at a time when the Angels were hammering lefties. So, if let's say Freeland had got off to a terrible start, I'd be interested in the Zag. The problem here is he's being lights out.
By the way, the lefties they've faced apparently: Framber Valdez, 2 earned runs; Steven Matz, 4 earned runs; Robbie Ray, 2 earned runs; Mackenzie Gore, 3 earned runs. Those are all this month.
It's a tough group. Reds have a bullpen advantage, but slight. Rockies bullpens looked awesome. I'm going to sit with this for longer. I guess when it comes down to it, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you this is what Freeland's going to do. We've made money off him to start the year, but he had to show it. He had to prove it after a couple starts, and he proved it, and we were backing him. It's as good as he ever looked. So my assumption is that after a break, he's going to come back and become the Kyle Freeland of old. I think that I'd be very comfortable just staying off and watching Freeland at this point. But I lean towards what Matty Ice is thinking, that he's going to be vulnerable now off of the IL, off of a great start to the season. So I'm going to sit with this for longer, but the Reds do interest me. It's very expensive. So I'm going to take a little bit more time. But it is the Cincinnati Reds for me. Jose, let's roll.
Giants, Phillies next on our board here. We have Molly versus Luzardo, 68% of the bets and 89%. Oh, wow. This just changed right there. 64% of the bets and 79% of the money now on the Giants. That was 68 and 89. So that moved dramatically right there. 71% of the bets and 85% of the money on the over in this game as well. The line minus 150 opener at Bet Online. Quickly got up to minus 162 and is now minus 161 here. High water mark was minus 165. And for Heritage, minus 153 opener is now minus 166 for the Phillies.
So we had AM and who else? Who else was on the? I scraped some of the notes that I had before and put my action in on the under in this one. I had initially been very interested in the Phillies -1, and it's very expensive. And Luzardo's been so bad at home. What I couldn't get past, studying this game after our show last night, was you have these pitchers with terrible numbers. Molly got lit up in that last road start badly. He's got a 5.26 ERA, 5.70 xERA, 1.60 WHIP, 14 walks, and 25 2/3. He's looked terrible. He's coming off a great start at home versus the Dodgers, but this probably could be easily a letdown situation. Then you have Luzardo, who's got a 6.91 ERA, 1.54 WHIP. He is the biggest difference in expected ERA to ERA of any pitcher pitching today. His expected ERA is 4.06. You have a Giants team that's hitting lefties, 287-34. Phillies at home. Both bullpens are pitching well. The longer I sat with it, I was kind of, I understood why everybody would bet the over. It feels like a gambler's first glance situation. The -5% runs, 0% difference in homers, -13% doubles and triples, and then even for singles. And so the longer I sat on it, oh God, Toby, McDavid, Draisaitl checked out. I come on, man. You could say you don't believe in them, but have we learned anything from watching these guys? It'll be a fun game to talk about, but if you were to tell me that McDavid and Draisaitl have checked out, I will bet against anything you say after that. So look, Luzardo. So when I sat with it for longer, I was like, how could this number be where it's at? And I'm on the -1, not the money line. Too expensive for the money line. But I can't wait to talk about the game, Toby. And I have great respect for your hockey analysis, so I don't mean to. So AM says he's on the under because he uses 2025 stats. He says if you're using 2026 data, the sample is so small, it will likely lead you in the wrong direction. I don't think that. I know that your takes, AM, are you must always do this or that, and it's extreme. I like that. It's fun to be around. But for me, I think you meet somewhere in the middle of both of those thoughts. And I've got Luzardo's stats here from 2025. I got Molly's stats from 2025. We go over all of it. We have flank state play of the days in as well. I'll be copying and pasting all of this. When it's all said and done, I bet the under 8 at -110. There's some totals that don't make any sense to me today. And they're not far off, but they don't make sense. And so there's a couple spots here that I have that I really want to move on. But this one I had enough, I felt. So I moved on the under 8 at -110 in this. I still have some interest in the Phillies -1. The problem is we talk about proof of concept so often. And where is the proof of concept that Luzardo is going to pitch? Well, yeah, again, like AM saying, you got to go back to 2025. You can't use any of his home starts in 2026. So I do still have some interest on the Phillies -1. I am keeping an eye on it, but I'm on the under 8 -110. Let's roll on, my man.
All right, next, Pirates versus the Cardinals here. In a few months, this matchup is going to be just hot ass. But right now, it's still interesting. Here we have, let's see where the splits are. There we go. I'm seeing undecided for Pittsburgh so far. I'll check other sites here in a moment, but 69% of the bets, 65% of the money on Pittsburgh here. 57% of the bets on the over, 64% of the money on the under in this game. Yeah, I'm still seeing undecided for Pittsburgh. Jimmy, do you have anyone listed right now?
No, and it's too bad. Because I was ready to fade Bubba Chandler and not ready to back Kyle Leahy. But Cards team total over, I was just counting down the moments to start fading him. And and maybe this is a sign that something's wrong with him here. Let me see if I can get anything here for us. Information here very quickly. And they have, we know it's not Ashcraft, right? Don't we? Isn't he off to the IL as well? Let me just see this here.
Coin says he thinks Ashcraft is coming back from fraternity leave.
Oh, that is it. Bereavement. Bereavement list. Okay, yeah, that could very much be it. Again, I don't know exactly what happened, what he's going through here. So Cam Sanders was called up from AAA. Yeah, I think we got to wait here. No, it doesn't look like it's going to be Bubba. But Coin, you're quite. Let's just wait and see what's going on here, and then get an idea of where Ashcraft's head's at. Sometimes you come back from bereavement and you're just ready to go, and other times, like Karl Anthony Towns, you don't come back for a month. And everybody questions if you care. Let's roll on.
All right. Game of the day for this program, Red Sox, Blue Jays, back at it again. The Red Sox under was great last night. That made me feel good about myself. Shout out to Rangel Suarez. Today we have the return of Mr. Trey Savage here, back on the bump versus Peyton Tolley. A fun, young pitching matchup here. Now let's go look at how Trey Savage has done in the minor leagues here and see where he's gone here. As Jimmy just mentioned, terrible. 2 1/3, 4 runs, 2 earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Disgusting. 4 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 home runs allowed, 5 Ks, 1 walk there. He also threw a wild pitch that day. 2 2/3, 4 earned runs, 6 Ks, 1 walk, 2 2/3, 1 earned run in his first appearance, but that is so long ago. The walks, like I said, the walks to strikeout is always something I'm looking at during these rehab starts to see if you have your control. 16 strikeouts to 7 walks. It's not what you want. And I'll admit, I still don't think this Red Sox offense is very good. But Jimmy, as the news continues to trickle out, it seems as if there was a divide in the Red Sox locker room between the olds and the youngs. And it seems like Alex Cora was not a fan of all the young players. And he didn't like babysitting all the young players. And there's some scuttlebutt that one Roman Anthony, for example, he got caught going out to drink one day in Boston, pictures taken of him. Allegedly, maybe got a little bit of a sit-down suspension. And then maybe allegedly during that suspension, he said, "Ow, my back hurts. I can't play." And then as soon as the managerial change happens, okay, I'm back and I'm ready to go. It's all very interesting. Marcelo Myers hitting well now. It's very fascinating. Very fascinating stuff seeing what's going around in the Red Sox. 65% of the bets and 93% of the money are on these Red Sox here. And we see a minus 119 at Bet Online is now minus 109. So 10 cents of movement towards Boston here. They were plus money. Now you can get them at minus 101. The Blue Jays got up to minus 123 at one point. As for other books here at Heritage, minus 124 is now down to minus 116, which is a little interesting there. I'm a little worried about backing Peyton Tolle after having such a dominant start in his last appearance. Struck out everyone. Still didn't get the win, which is disgusting. But he's one of those guys that he's going to kind of kick Brian Bayo out of the rotation if he has another good start here. So what do you think about this game?
I don't care what Savage really did in his rehab assignment. 5 starts. He struck out 22 batters in 14 2/3. So, we know he's more than capable of stepping up here. What I want to fade here, and again, this is just the psychological angle that I really like, and players can be beyond the head game that I think that could be playing, but Savage was simply spectacular last year. We've never had a pitcher that's come up quite like that at such a young age. And he was our best pitcher. How many regular season innings did he throw last year? 14?
Yeah, 3 starts, I think.
And then he was our most important and best pitcher in the playoffs. In the most important situations, he was the guy we wanted on the mound. And he's been anointed the leader of the pitching staff for years to come. And I think that's very difficult to handle coming back when everything goes so easy. It just life doesn't work like that. Baseball doesn't work like that. And so I want to fade him in his first start. I would have preferred he was lights out in his rehab starts, honestly. The idea of expecting Tolle to pitch, 11 strikeouts over 6 innings, walking and batter. I mean, he was just, the market told us he was going to shove. So I am fading Savage. I'm on the Red Sox first 3 at minus 115. And then sitting with it here, I understand that that's not enough. That you guys are right. That I should be like TJ and others back in the Red Sox every single game with the coaching change, with the mindset change, and just riding it. So I will double up on this. I said I wasn't going to do that because what do I really know about what Savage is going to do? But these sort of angles have helped me. It would help me a lot more if he was lights out in his rehab starts, because a lot of people could just say, "Oh, well, look how bad he looked in rehab starts." But I think that there's more of a mental when everything comes so easily for you, and then 5 months go by and you got to go do it again. It becomes more difficult. We've seen a lot of, and I'm not saying that he's not going to have a great career or anything like that, but so I'm going to add the Red Sox full game. And if I'm late to the party and early to the funeral, I will deal with that. But I'm already on Red Sox for 3. Are you going to move on this one, Jose?
I don't know yet. That's a great question. I'm a little worried to bet the under in this game. I've been trying to just consistently bet the unders. 50-50 ticket split, 89% of the money on the under in this game. The total has gone from a juice 8, I should say, under. It's now 7.5, minus 115 to the over. I see it. It's just like we say about like in basketball, if Steph Curry goes for 60 points, I want to fade him the next day. Peyton Tolley goes for fucking 12 strikeouts, whatever it was. I'm kind of worried. He did this last year as well when he came up. He came up, had an amazing first start, kind of came back down to second start. So I'll be watching, I'll be listening, but I'm not moving on it yet.
I do think that's something that plays for us psychologically is he did not make this team out of spring training. He's not a starting pitcher. He does not have a job.
No, and if he has another good start, and if Brian Breo shits the bed tomorrow, he's going to take that guy's spot.
Yeah. Spooner says, I want to back the Jays with you, Savage. I'm totally well behind you, Savage, and the market isn't reflecting that. Oh, I agree. From a number, if this was sold and you, well, who's betting hunches and shit like that? That doesn't work in baseball. You have the numbers, you follow the numbers. If you were to follow the numbers, you would certainly be on your Savage. But there's other things going on here. One, the Red Sox, of course, fire Cora and they put some wins together. Two, I do not think this is going to be easy for you, Savage. Not after. Talk about the ride he went on last year. So,
yeah, I kind of think he's a fade pitcher, at least
early.
He starts. Yeah, I don't believe that he's as good as last year's numbers.
But I mean, if you were watching this show and you had Spooner saying, "Well, the numbers tell me this," and then you had me saying, "Look, this." I mean, I could understand saying, "Why would I listen to this fucking gibberish?" We have actual proof of concept with the numbers that the pitcher's delivered throughout his career. So I can understand, both sides of it here. Spooner says, "Who had high expectations for this season and is underperforming them?" One of this teams was the World Series. Or am I mistaken?
I say both of these teams had high expectations.
Did the Red Sox?
Fuck yeah.
Really?
We had the Red Sox coming into the offseason had very high expectations. They made the playoffs last year, lose to the Yankees for the first time. It was at least compete for the division, at least.
And you were really happy with your offseason. Everybody was happy with the offseason moving in.
No,
we have put together the team. No, I don't think you guys came in with it. I mean, I guess we can look at it differently, but I mean, we could talk about these two teams for days, and we want to hear your Red Sox insights. I did not think the Red Sox came in with high. I thought there was a real concern coming into the season.
That's not what they'll tell you. I think the expectations from the front office are the ones that matter more than the fans. Just that front office has been saying consistently, playoffs, division.
But they didn't back it up by any proof. I mean, don't you have to make investments?
That's 100% facts. Yes.
So the management said we have no expectations for this season. We're going to.
Oh no, they'll keep saying it.
But it doesn't matter what you say. You have to prove it with actions.
I think what they say is putting the pressure on the players, though.
Yeah, maybe that's. I mean, whatever they've done, it's been wrong.
Absolutely, that is inarguable there.
But let's roll on. And Spooner is moving on the Jays. And I go get it, my man.
Good luck. Nationals, Mets here next on our board here. The Mets are what an interesting franchise they are right now. What's the losing? Is it just 3 games? It just feels like double because it was against the Rockies. I'll double check that here in a minute while I tell you guys that Zach Littell is facing Clay Holmes and has 55% of the bets and 95% of the money on the Nationals. That's pretty crazy. There. 60 minus 165 at Bet Online is now minus 177. It got up to minus 182. Bovada, which always kind of has a little bit more juice on their favorites, minus 186 is now minus 190. I mean, I don't know. It's a fascinating game. I don't want to back the Mets really because I think that at any moment now that the Red Sox fired their managers, Steve Cohen's going to be like, I didn't know you could do that this early. And I could easily see him taking Carlos Mendoza out back and not be a fun time for him. I mean, they're 2-8 in their last 10. And yeah, the losing streak is 3 games in a row. Like I said, I just feel like double because it was against the Rockies. I like Clay Holmes. I don't like my man Zach Littell. Admittedly, it's Mets or nothing for me here. But as everyone has mentioned in the chat, it's like trying to catch a falling chainsaw, and that chainsaw is flipping in the air at a very fast rate. So I'm off, though. I don't know. It's just all that. And it's not even the ticket percentage because it's 55% of the bets, but 95% of the money on the Nationals there is pretty surprising. But TC's on the Nationals, Robert Franken's on the Nationals, KT's on Nationals plus 1.5. Jake Burns doubled up first 5 and first 3 plus a half. I get it. I mean, this Mets team has just not been good at all. I'll give you guys quickly before I pass it off to Jimmy here. Numbers against righties this month for the Mets. Dead last, 73 weighted runs created plus, while the Nationals are 96 weighted runs created plus. So I get it. If you guys bet an under, I understand, but it's not going to be on my card here.
I'm right with Troy.
I kind of agree, yeah.
I'm completely with them. I've moved on the Mets -1, and I plan to be on the under. I just wanted time to. I do not want to double up on the under, so it's a first 3 under or a full game under, and that's what I was sitting with. TC play of the day is the Nats. Justin McKelvey on the other side with the -1.5 plus 121. Brian Watson on the over 7.5. So I got the Mets -1 at -120. So we have run suppressing weather, and I don't want to get that too caught up in that. I don't think it benefits me when I do. -16% runs, -22% homers, -23% doubles and triples, and -2% singles. So I mean, clearly we can say it's it's run suppressing weather. The problem is Zach Littell has been a gas can to start the year. 7.56 ERA, 1.68 WHIP. It's not been bad luck. His xERA 7.99 ERA. And then we have Clay Holmes, 2.10 ERA, 1.03 WHIP. Now his xERA 4.22 as well. But I really do believe in him, and now he's got his second straight home start. And so, the Nats bullpens looked a little bit better over the last little while, and maybe the run suppressing weather and the lack of the Mets, sticks being able to do anything. So I can understand here. I just got to make the decision. That's all. I've got to just make the decision. I don't think it, but I am going to join on the under. Expect Littell to bounce back. We do have, 2 bullpens that are ready to go, completely ready to go. So that's the plan. And I'm going to decide between the first 3 under or the full game under. And I guess I should probably lean towards the full game under, but all of this would be predicated that Littell's going to start pitching better at some point. I mean, this is a guy with a 3.81 ERA, 1.10 WHIP last year. Shout out to our guy, Jeff Slaughter. We had Ricky Williams down on the weekend signing autographs here. Ex-Toronto Argonaut, Ricky Williams. And
I didn't know that. I didn't know that portion of his career.
Oh, yeah, it was great. He was great. Like the guy likes to play football. I mean, who cares if he's smoking a blunt before the game? The guy plays football, plays hard, runs hard, and everyone liked him. He played hard. And shout out to Jeff bringing down Ricky Williams. It was a big success, so that was great. But here I'm on the Mets -1. Yeah, I'm trying to catch a falling chainsaw, and it's been okay for me. My ROI on Mets games is not negative somehow. The first 5s were cashing on spots when the full games were falling apart and losing, which kind of helped. But now it's whether or not I'm on the under full game or first 3. It's a decision I'm going to need to make, and I lean towards the full game here. And Clay Holmes is going to regress, but even if he regresses, he'll still a quality pitcher and a backable pitcher at home. Let's roll on.
Let's roll on to Braves Tigers here. I don't know why. Just these teams playing each other feels weird to me. I kind of do miss the days, Jimmy, even though I wasn't really coherent at the time when the National League and the American League really didn't play much. It was just one weekend of ball or 1 month of just interleague. That was a lot of fun. Mize versus Perez, my good friend Martin Perez. And I'm pretty surprised at how public he is today here, Jimmy. 87% of the bets, 91% of the money on the New York Yankees, the Atlanta Braves here. Very interesting. We have, this line at Bet Online. -125 opener. It's now -119. Got down to -117 around 10 a.m. this morning. It's got back up to minus 121 and then back down to minus 119 there. That obviously is very appealing to me here. I mean, we both like, I say, not even we both. You like Casey Mize a whole lot and believe in him. Martin Perez, I don't know how long he can keep his bullshit up here. His last appearance, he went 3 innings, 2 earned runs against the Nationals, and it wasn't even a start. He just came out of the bullpen. 6 innings shutout against the Phillies at the Phillies. 5 innings, 1 earned run against the Cleveland Guardians. 5 innings, 4 earned runs against the Diamondbacks, and 4 1/3 shutout against the A's. I mean, yeah, I lean heavily right now towards the Tigers, and I want to hear what you guys have to say so I can have enough confidence to jump off the Tigers ledge with you guys. What do you think here, Jimmy?
The over must be bet.
Really high total here, huh?
Ridiculous. And you'd say, well, why aren't you on it yet? And it's just because I'm trying to time it right. We were in this situation recently in a Pirates game. Ashcraft was pitching. The total opened up at 9 with 2 very good pitchers on the mound. Dropped down to 8.5, which is what I expect this to do. Now, it did open up at a juiced 8.5 over, but to me, it doesn't make any sense that this total would open so high at 9. Makes no sense. And that's what we said about the Pittsburgh game. So in that Pittsburgh game with Ashcraft, now there was some bumbling, terrible defense that happened in the 4th inning, but it was 0-0 after 3. I took the live over 5.5, trusting the cap, trusting what, I believed. And then 8 runs were scored in that 4th inning. And this line just, it just makes no sense. You have run suppressing weather minus 6%, runs minus 7%, homers minus 10%, doubles and triples, and plus 3% singles. You're going to have, we have Robert Franklin on the over, and AM talking about the over being tempting. But looking at these pitchers, Casey Mize, 2.51 ERA, 1.15 whip, 3.22 xERA. He's just very, very good pitcher. He's only had 1 start this year where he's allowed more than 1 earned run. So, and then Justin says has the over 8.5 on this at minus 122. I'm going to wait longer. I expect to get an 8.5 minus 110. So I'm going to wait. Wait. And I have must bet over here in the top of the breakdown here. And Von Polo said he actually took the over, but he was going to take the Braves, but the line movement's. I'm astonished that all this money is on Martin Perez. So this year, he's looked great. 2.70 ERA, 0.94 whip. He's a 4.59 xERA. So last year he was great. 3.54 ERA, 1.11 whip. He dealt with injuries. And the Tigers 221, 713 versus lefties. Braves are raking righties. 273, 796 OPS. I truly believe we just have to trust when an opening line doesn't make any sense. And that's what I think we're getting here. So I'm waiting patiently for the 8.5 and minus 110. I might take. I'm going to bet it no matter what. But I would like to be responsible and make this is a part of my capping that I need to work on. I know I need to work on is timing bets better. So patiently waiting, must bet over, and must bet over if it's a low scoring game after 3 innings. I might. It depends. It depends how early they're going to see the top of the lineup the second time. So I might bet it after 2 innings. But we bet the over 5.5 in the exact same situation. We doubled up, and then so that's my plan. I think this is an absolute must bet over, and I'm going to try to time it right. Let's roll on.
I'm going to wait on the over. I have a 9, but it was plus money 9
wait.
for the over. So yeah, I'll wait and hopefully it'll get to the 8.5. And I took the Tigers plus 105 full game money line.
Yeah, this. It doesn't make sense. I know we don't look at action anymore. A lot of us don't. And I imagine action would tell you a very different story. I am surprised that Mize is being disregarded that heavily by the gambling public. I would want to give them more time to make sure that the numbers are as legit as possible. But if this was to stay 85%, 90% of cash on the Braves, it's because Tigers are 5-12 on the road, I guess. They're simplifying it down to that level. But let's roll on, Jose. I will be cheering for you, my friend.
Your gospel of Casey Mize has not seeped through. By the way, a Wine Time mentioning That's action at 77 and 79 on the Braves.
I thought it'd be even more of a difference. So I'm telling you, everyone betting the Braves at home. Kelly McKinnon says he will be on the Braves money line. Detroit on the road don't scare him. Yeah, no, I get it.
All right. Well, I'm going to stick on the Tigers. Good luck to you, Kelly. Angels, White Sox. And though it helped me last night, Jimmy Murakami hits another home run, and he is now in the lead, I believe, for the league leading home run. So that is very disappointing, to say the least. If anyone could have had him, and nobody wanted him, apparently. We have Angels, White Sox, and we've got, let's find these money splits here. Soriano versus Davis Martin. And boy, oh boy, we're back here again with Jose Soriano, and you talked about it last night, the line movement in his last start with Waldron on the bump, who we lost that day and then learned from our mistakes and faded him the next time he was out there, which was nice. 76, like I said, 76% of the bets and 84% of the money on the Angels here. And this line opened up at minus 132. It's now minus 129. It got all the way up to minus 143 at one point. It's come down to the minus 129. Heritage has a minus 137 opener, got up to minus 145. It's now minus 143 there. And just bookmaker showing a minus 127 there after a minus 135 opener that got up to a minus 150 at 2 a.m.
Yeah. And the difference between this is
the first 5 full game difference.
Insane. And this is exactly what Troy's been taking advantage of. The full game is moving towards the White Sox, but the first 5 is moving towards the Angels. This is so similar to that Waldron spot, and the difference, the extreme difference between the first 5 and full game is getting more and more and more. Right now, Pinnacle full game, Angels are down to minus 127. First 5, they're up to minus 146. I told you guys that I wanted Davis Martin in this spot, and that maybe the 0.24 ERA should be more looked at the xERA for Soriano at 2.73 here. Yes, absolutely, Johnny. But so for me here, though, like, why do I need to sit back and look I'm going to fade Soriano. I'm going to take Davis Martin. Why do I have to do that? I don't have to do that. It's stupid doing shit like that. Like,
and if you want to fade him here, it seems like you just wait live. The Soriano pitches well, and like Wine Time said, just bet against him when he comes out, and the Angels bullpen has to do their thing.
Yeah, I think that's valid here. But also, it's not like as the full game totals, the full game line's moving towards the White Sox. The first 5, as I said, is moving towards the Angels. So I think it's best for me just to do nothing here. The game excites me and interests me more than any other game. That doesn't mean we have to bet it. So look, it's not like I'm going to be lacking action today. I don't need to talk to anybody for the rest of the day. I'd be just fine. So I'm just going to have to stay off of the spot here. And so, Johnny, Troy's talking about it here, and thank you, Troy, for doing that. And I'm sure he'll talk about it on closing line at 5 p.m. here. But for me, I simplify it more than Troy does, because I really the what's happening on the full game. I don't put the massive difference between the first 5 and the full game is what I kind of focus on. But I'm certainly watching how Troy's handling these things, and Troy says he'll be on Angels first 5 if it continues. I'm just going to stay off of the spot here. What could I do? I could take an Angels first 5 team total under.
God, Jesus Christ! I'm glad that you wore that Phillies outfit, because breaking news: Rob Thompson is fired.
Wow, then they should be bet right now.
And guess who's going to get hired there in about 24 hours? The guy that won a World Series with their general manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to add the Phillies here.
And by the way, if the Mets were smart, hit the eject now. Hit the eject now and start the bidding war. You'll outbid the Phillies.
Yeah.
Man. God, that's going to suck.
But let's just go back to this. Why do I? This is not. It's not about what bet makes you look the most spectacular. It's about what bet do you win. So I'm just going to stay off this spot and not try to. I love Jose Soriano. I've loved him since he started it last year and the year before. We're like, look at the guy's stuff. It's nasty. Why is he not delivering? Now he's delivering, and I'm lining up to try and fade it. I should just shut up and move on to the next game. Let's go.
You know who the interim manager is for the Phillies?
Who?
Old Donnie Baseball. Donnie
Oh,
Baseball
nice.
is back in our lives
We
again.
miss him, man. We miss him up here. He's a great guy. Let's roll, though.
Diamondbacks Brewers here next on our board here. Right now, we have undecided versus Chad Patrick, 75% of the bets and 92% of the money on the Milwaukee Brewers here. On another side, I'm seeing Merle Kelly.
He must not be pitching, though.
Chad Patrick. Yeah, so that's interesting here. I don't trust RotoWire when it comes to these pitching things. They can obviously get it wrong. So they also have Merle Kelly too. So I agree with that. It definitely could not be him here. But line movement in this game, nonetheless, just 3 cents of movement towards the Arizona Diamondbacks, minus 113 to minus 111. This line opened up pretty recently as well. So I bet online. At Heritage, minus 115 is now it was an opener of minus 111. It's now minus 115 Brewers. No action for me so far. What do you think?
I think it's crucial that we get the information here. If it is a bullpen day for the Diamondbacks, their bullpens look great. I mean, they've had some bad luck, but I think they're just going to improve as the season goes on. Wine time on the Diamondbacks money line. The issue for the Brewers is just that they're really trying to limit Chad Patrick's innings. So, with it all said and done here, I need to know what the hell we're dealing with. 37-year-old Merle Kelly coming into the season with the back injury, got destroyed last start. So he is probably going to get some time here, figure out what's going on. LJ says Arizona 10-1 to the over 8 last 11 games on the road. First game of the series going back to last year. It's a great note, LJ, my man. Von Polo saying tomorrow he'll have a max bet on the Phillies, and Jam saying that the Brewers free money line here. So, we need more information. Let's just wait on it here. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board because this is a fascinating one.
Seattle Mariners versus the Minnesota Twins, and shout out to those Twins and shout out to this pitching matchup. Two of my favorite pitchers going at it. Logan Gilbert versus Joe Ryan here, minus 118 is where we're at right now. It used to be a minus 130, minus 129, and it opened up at minus 116. So what a U-shaped movement on this game here at Bet Online. At Heritage, they have a minus 123, got up to minus 130 there. It is now minus 123. They opened up minus 121. Market in this game, 57% of the bets and 86% of the money is on Seattle. 75% of the bets, 88% of the money is on the under in this game. Again, I think that the Minnesota Twins are a back team, but I think they're a back team against lefties. Against righties, Minnesota, 99 weighted runs created plus, pretty average. Seattle, 109 weighted runs created plus. And we talked about it yesterday, just for example, 110 weighted runs created plus are the Minnesota Twins against lefties. So I think they're just a good lefty hitting team, but I'm not going to bet them against a righty here. What do you think?
I had thought that this 7.5 was too low of a number, and that initial move, which was about 11 cents towards the over, really made sense. Now we've seen some line move back towards the under. And this is the only game where both pitchers' xERA is quite a bit better than their ERA. Joe Ryan, 3.90 ERA, 1.02 whip, xERA, 2.99. And then for Logan Gilbert, he's got a 4.36 ERA, 1.27 whip. His xERA is 3.75. I started thinking that based on Joe Ryan just getting lit up and smoked. The last time he had a really bad start, he came back at home versus the Tigers, and he wasn't lights out. 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were in 7 Ks, 3 walks. I'd like to think that he's going to be lights out here after that terrible start at the Mets. I'm hesitant to follow through with this. I've gotten cold feet, and I think maybe I was on the look. I also have vividness biases for both these pitchers pitching great, and now they're telling us that they're pitching better than their numbers indicate, which makes me want to back them. When we go to target fields, minus 11% runs, minus 18% homers, minus 10% doubles and triples, and minus 1% singles. I thought that initial move to the over was telling with these two pitchers that I really like their stuff, and so now I was expecting to bet this last night, and I was like, let's see what happens in the morning. And all that's happened in the morning is that I've not got more confidence on the over. AM says Joe Ryan, fly ball pitcher, wind blowing the right field, and a shaky bullpen behind him. Mariner lefty heavy lineup gets the job done. He says this line is crazy here. And the Mariners have been hitting righties pretty well. 241, 722 OPS. Twins versus righties is 225, 698 OPS. Mariners have a big bullpen advantage. But Joe Ryan bouncing back at home is just playing in my head. I think I should probably just stay off of this game. Coin leading to the Twinkies first 5 here. Billy Friedrich on the Twins first 5. AM is on the Mariners money line. And Robert Cherry using the +0.5 here on this as well. So Coin, who leaning towards Minnesota for 5, says Seattle's 1-8-4 first 5 money line on the road. Wow. Minnesota 9-3-2 first 5 money line at home. I think it's best for me to stay off of this spot. I think I could make a reasonable argument as to the over 7.5, a reasonable argument to the under. We cashed the over very easily last night. It was a great conversation I had with Troy. Very helpful conversation for my bankroll. And then here I could make a reasonable argument as to why Logan Gilbert should be back and a reasonable argument that Joe Ryan should be back. So I'm going to add question mark to this. I'm going to stay off of it. Let's roll.
All right, Yankees versus the Rangers. I'm not going to call it fun because I don't like Cam Schlitter at all. He's my least favorite Yankee amongst the bunch now. I don't like him even more than 99, Jimmy. That's saying something because I don't like 99 at all, or Mike Stanton either. Minus 120 opener is still there now at minus 120. It got up to 23, and it even got down to minus 116. For the New York Yankees. DeGrom on the other side here. And interestingly enough, there is 80% of the bets and 89% of the money on Cam Schlitter here. Line really hasn't moved much. Everyone betting the under, of course, 89 and 90 on the under, Jimmy. Please tell me that we are on the Texas Rangers here.
I've invested heavily in this baseball game. So and the market's moved my direction in all facets. Again, I every bet is a risk, and the line moving your direction doesn't necessarily. I mean, maybe it gives you somewhat of a sense of calm, but and you know that with CLV you have a likelier chance of cashing it. But I've invested heavily in this one, and I like it a lot. I'm on the first 3 under 2 at minus 108. I'm on the full game under 7.5, and I thought I don't know why I didn't bet this last night. Maybe I got too caught up in that night's game, but I was really focusing on my action. I thought that so when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, I haven't bet that full game under yet. It was a spot that AM was talking about here, and Nutflush also with the birthday. Nice, Nutflush. I didn't know it was your birthday today. Sweet, Nutflush, my man. Happy birthday to OG Mikey Allen. Happy birthday, Nutflush. Absolutely. Let's get that here right under Wasabi J's birthday. Nutflush Allen and Wasabi J. Absolutely. You guys, a winner must be delivered for you guys, man. Must be delivered. Back here to this spot, I'm on the full game under 7.5. And what did I get on it here? Sorry, I guess I put it on the other worksheet here for the list of action. So I'll pull this up very quickly. I got the under 7.5 minus 115. Could have got minus 110 last night, but waited a little too long. In fact, that was a better line. That was a minus 115 and 365. It was minus 116 at Penny. Now it's minus 118. So that line's moving in that direction. And then the Rangers first 5 I'm on DeGrom first 5. I don't see how I could pass this up. It's more expensive to back the Rangers first 5 than full game, and the Rangers have a bullpen advantage. So I'm Rangers first 5. It's also moved 2 more cents. I looked at Pinnacle, it was minus 104. I got minus 102. So I'm very. This is my main investment. This game, the first 3 under, the full game under, and backing DeGrom. This game is going to be extremely fun. Now, I'm not certain that the roof is going to be closed. I want the roof to be closed. I'm not certain that it will be. There was supposed to be light rain and things of that nature. It doesn't look like there is anymore. And it's going to be right at the cutoff. It's going to be about 86, 85. If it's between 70 and 85, they let the roof open. Now, it is sticky and humid. So at first, I thought the roof was going to be closed for sure. Now I'm a little concerned that it won't be. Mark Stasowski says he will be on DeGrom first 5 with me as well. I'm pumped up. We got Pamper Pop parlay of the day action. I'm going to copy and paste all this. And happy birthday to the great Nut Flush Allen. Triple up spot for me here, Jose. And I thought you'd be pleased to know that I am on the other side of the pitcher who is the bane of your existence right now, is pitching phenomenally well in Cam Schlittler.
Yeah, he's still a pussy bitch. Fuck that guy. Next game on the board here, Cubs Padres. Yeah, I don't like that guy, Jimmy. I really don't like him. Not even a little bit. Edward Cabrera versus Walker Buehler, another pitcher that I really don't like. 90% of the bets, 91% of the money on the Chicago Cubs. And the market is saying bet on Walker Buehler, in my opinion, because a minus 105 each way is pretty surprising. It's moved to minus 114, but still, or it's not minus 111, I should say. Maybe I am just a negative Nancy about Walker Buehler, but I thought this is at least minus 140, minus 130. And I'm just surprised that it opened up even each way. I really am. And I did the Jimmy the Bag, look at the records, home road records, and I get the Cubs are pretty shitty on the road so far, but I don't know. I just thought this was a Cubs spot, or excuse me, I thought this was a line that made people want to bet the Cubs. And I sit here, I'm like, I might have to bet Walker Buehler and this asshole team of the Padres. I'm not sure. Market again in this game. Let's find that real quick here. I just read it off, but it does have the total information now. 80% of the bets on the under, 60% of the money on the over in this game. So that's interesting. It makes me feel a little better about not liking Walker Buehler. This line has gone from a 7.5. It is a juiced 8, and it is now seeing 8.5s pop up across the board here. So a full run move to the over. I have to bet the under. Shout out to old Miguel Money over there.
Dev Fenn says Padres will not have Machado. Says not that he's been great, but no Machado in the lineup. I think that
no Machado and this line's got up a full run. Fuck.
I think that the Padres should be backed here with the state of the Cubs bullpen. Also, Cabrera sitting here with 2.73 ERA, 1.18 WHIP. His xERA is 3.72 against a Walker Buehler who's got gas can numbers here. Now, gas can numbers, sure. But look what he's done in his last 2 home starts. 11 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, and 1 walk. So he's finding some comfort, pitching at Petco with the Marine layer. Let's take a look at what we're getting here with Petco. Minus 12% runs, minus 17% homers, minus 8% doubles and triples, minus 6% singles. I think that also if the pitchers look good early, I think that it's a live over. And it's probably a live bet on the Padres. And my concern here, and I think I could get past it, but my concern here is, do we need to have Padres action? Can we just bet it live? Do we need pre-flop action on it? I don't know if we do. I do think that it's possible that we do because of the fact that Walker Buehler, has been shoving at home. We also have Edward Cabrera, off of 3 straight home starts. Now, he looked great in his 1 road start this year. So 4 of his last 5 starts have been at home here. And, AOD, it was a tough one. It was a tough one, but look, Nuggets got us right, and it's a battle. Am says, I think the Cubs lead early. I think betting Padres live is smart if you want them. I do. This is similar to that Angels White Sox spot. Now we have the Cubbies at minus 113 full game, but first half they're minus 126. I think that the Padres should probably be bet live. Nuffler says, remember my little info on the second game for away teams in San Diego. He says they really like to enjoy the downtown gas lamp nightlife. Yeah, I don't know. The Padres full. So initially, I wanted the Cubs first 5. That was just my gut before fully capping it, and I'm comfortable switching. But again, I don't know if I need to move early here. And Spoon says Globe Life should be closed tonight. Temperature at the edge and rain in the forecast during the game. That's interesting because I had with Arlington weather that they had gone down to 0% precipitation. I got 0.05 now at 4. Oh, wow, you're right. Wow, that's changed drastically for me. Wow. Now we have heavy rain. Oh, that's great. So, yes, wow, okay. Maybe I was looking at it wrong. I don't know. But that's huge. So, yes, roof will be closed 100%. Thank you, Spooner. That gives me more confidence. So, Nutflush will be on the Padres. Yeah, I'm going to spend a little bit more time, but these angles that Nutflush has built in, through he's a veteran capper. They're very successful. Let's roll on, Jose. We got to be quick.
Next, Royals A's here. By the way, I bet the Padres minus 105. Royals A's here. Next on our board here, we have, let's see, Bubic versus Savali here. 50-50 ticket split. 85% of the money on the Royals here. Line, minus 106 each way. Minus 113 Royals now. Minus 112. I got up to minus 117. Is this the same thing? Is this the same thing we just talked about in the last game? Maybe I underrate home field advantage, so maybe that's a hole in my capping. But Savali, a guy that I don't trust, I haven't liked all year. Don't think he's very good. His last starts, just for everyone's sake here, 5 1/3, 3 earned runs against Seattle, 4 2/3, 5 earned runs against the White Sox. At the Mets, dominated 5 2/3, no earned runs, but the Mets suck. At the Yankees, 5 innings, 1 earned run, and then at these very A's, at these very Braves, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs there. So he's been fine, but just a guy I don't anticipate being very good. Bubic is kind of in the same boat for me because I have this horrible habit of, if you have a breakout year than the previous year, I want to fade you the next year until you prove to me that that's actually you. So I want to bet the A's here, Jimmy. I do. I want to hear what you have to say in the chat and everyone in the chat as well.
There are question marks surrounding this game, and it's pretty simple. Bubic has had 1 road start this year, and he got hit hard. Savali's had 1 home start in Sacramento, and he got hit hard. Savali's a fickle, grumpy-ass old dude. It's like he's 60, but, in a 30-year-old body. And I think he's going to have a problem pitching in Sacramento. I think he's not going to like it. This guy's passed around the league because of character issues, not because of necessarily, what he does on the mound. So I think this is a spot where uncomfortably Bubic first 5 should be bet. And I moved on first 5 minus 120. The price difference, is it enough? I don't think it's enough. I'm nervous about this spot. Do we have Royals minus 108, full game minus 117, first 5 over a penny? Stacks play today. Number 2 here is Royals A's over 9.5 at plus 100. So I'm backing Bubic first 5. There is some discomfort here. Robert Franklin on the Royals money line. I think that price difference could just be predicated on the fact that the A's have a better bullpen than the Royals, or at least part of it. Maybe not fully, maybe not a 9-cent difference, but so I'm backing Bubic first 5. I'm backing him here. The A's have been hitting righties very hard, not lefties. 213, 617 OPS. Sure, the Royals offense has been meek, but they're against righties, they've been okay. 245, 723 OPS. So Bubic first 5. I don't need them to be ahead by a run. The push and play, but with the volatility, I think somebody's going to be ahead after 5. And I think we keep a really close eye on how Savali handles Sacramento. I think it's a very reasonable possibility that he doesn't like it, and the Sevy room's not enough for him. So we'll see. But I'm on Bubic first 5. This isn't a spot where I'm sitting here with enormous confidence. I would like the line to be moving a little more in my direction. But, we talk, Jose talking about the home road splits. The Royals are 2-10 on the road, which they're opening up as a favorite. Maybe that's enough for me. Let's roll on.
Interesting. I'm on the A's, minus 105 for me full game. I'm going to hope that the market is right. By the way, Wine Time talks about how terrible the Angels bullpen is. Only two bullpens worse ERA so far this year, and that is the Kansas City Royals and the Houston Astros. We have a 6.31 compared to the Angels having a 5.7. So it's very funny indeed. But let's roll on here to our next game and our last game, and the game that really hurt my feelings last night, Jimmy. Dodgers Marlins. Man. It's like you playing Russian roulette with the Marlins bullpen every spin, and those last two innings it gets real dicey. It got dicey last night, and Kyle Tucker found a way. Jimmy, the worst part about it too, there was one out, bases loaded, and I was like, okay, they're gonna win, whatever. I'm gonna be pissed, and then they strike out Will Smith, so we have two outs, bases loaded. I'm like, are we gonna wiggle our way out of this? Are we going to do it? And then just base it up the middle and bullshit. And I just go to bed angry. They used everyone in their bullpen last night, basically. Fairbanks, 23 pitches, and he looks like he hurt his arm. Tyler Phillips, 6 pitches, terrible. John King, 7 pitches. Calvin Faucher, back-to-back. He's not going. Bender didn't throw yesterday, but he threw a back-to-back on Saturday, Sunday. Nardi, back-to-back yesterday. Michael Peterson, 26 pitches yesterday. The bullpen just dummy taxed here. And it's my guy, Jansen Junk, on the bump versus the greatest baseball player we'll ever see, Shohei Ohtani. 86% of the bets, 90% of the money on Ohtani and company here. This line has gone from a minus 270 up to a 290 at BetOnline, touching 300 at Bovada here.
I think this is the biggest start of Jansen Junk's career. And it's an exciting opportunity for him. And the state of the bullpen is this. I mean, the market's telling us that the under's live, but we know that the bullpen issues are real. Ohtani's allowed 1 earned run this season. 1.
Pretty good.
And I have interest in Jansen Junk for 3+1/2. It's barely over. It's minus 115 right now. I'm sure you could get better at MGM or somewhere, but at 365, I don't think I need to bet that. I mean, I think that you're asking for trouble when you're saying, look at this brilliant bet I'm going to make. But the first 3 under, I think, is worth it. I think it's in play. If we believe in Jansen Junk, which I do, can we get it here? AM not concerned about the Marlins bullpen at all, so he can get to the under, and the market is indicating that that's the right move. I am concerned with the bullpen, but you don't have to be. So I'm going to focus on the first 3 under and not the full game. So it's going to be a first 3 under for me, and then the question is, do I need to bother with the Marlins first 5+1/2? I don't think I need to bother because. In Coin saying that strictly focusing on pitching tonight, Ohtani's not hitting. Maybe that makes it a little more appealing. You don't need to see Ohtani twice. I'll sit with it for longer. I just feel like you're asking for too much. But can I get 9 outs from Jansen Junk? I think it's possible. We haven't seen Jansen Junk on the road much this year. That is a concern. He had 1 start at the Tigers. That's been his only road start, and allowed 4 runs over 5 innings. But this is different. This is the most watched start of his career. So I may add the first 3+1/2. May. It's just I feel sick thinking about however my card's looking. We're going into the 10 p.m. hour, and I'm fading the Dodgers first 3+1/2. But let's review all action here. Jose Bouquet in Major League Baseball. We'll go over the plays of the day from the chat. We got to work quickly here through NBA and NHL really quickly. So we'll go 2 games a spot. Dizzy says Junk is not very good. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to agree on these pitchers. I've been high on Junk since he came up and they moved him out of the bullpen. for the Marlins. 3.67 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. I think that's really good. He's got a 3.51 xERA, so it's not luck. But again, we don't have to trust yourself, trust your capping, trust your instincts. It's So in MLB for me, I have 8 bets that I've moved on. Guardians money line -135, New York, Texas under 7. Oh, I did move on it. Shit, I bet it twice.
Yeah, I was wondering. You sent something twice, and I was like, okay. I'm pretty sure he meant to do this because there's
no, I didn't mean to do that. Huh? Okay, I'll figure it out.
So you actually did bet it twice?
I did, yeah.
And you just didn't mean to. Okay.
Huh.
Fair enough.
Tampa Bay, Cleveland, first 3 under 2.5 -125. San Francisco, Philadelphia under 8 at -110. Red Sox, first 3 -115. Mets -1 at -120. New York, Texas, first 3 under 2 at -108. Royals, first 5 at -120. And Rangers, first 5 at -102. What the hell am I got to figure out what the hell to do with that. And then with action here that will be added, not as much as I thought would be added here at all. So let me just go over. I have some interest in the Reds here in against Freeland. I'm going to be adding Phillies -1 after the firing. I wish it was Bubba Chandler pitching and I'd be on the Cards team till over. I'm going to add the Boston Red Sox. I'm going to start riding them here. I'm going to add either a full game under or first 3 under in Washington, New York Mets. Then I can understand why you're interested in the Tigers. I'm going to bet the over 100%. I just got to time it right. I think it's go down to 8.5 -110. Then I'm going to leave off the White Sox first 5 plus a half. I think I'm just asking for too much at that point. I was going to move on the over 7.5 Seattle, Minnesota. I'm not anymore. I'm just going to leave that one off. And then I've got to figure out what to do with that if I want 2 units on the under. And then the Padres full game I'm going to be adding as well. And then I'm going to move on the Marlins, Dodgers first 3 under, and then do I add the first 3 plus half? I don't know if I need to. I think basically taking the first 3 under is betting on Jansen Junk. But by doubling down on Jansen Junk, I think I'm asking for trouble. Jose Bouquet, your MLB action.
Yes, I am on. Sorry, I'm actually in the process of trying to build a -1 for the Philadelphia Phillies here. I'm trying to see if I have to put 2 units on it or if I have to do 1 or if I can do 1 just based off of the limits and such. But I'll do that here in a moment. A's money line -105, Padres money line -105, Tigers +105, and I'm going to bet the over in that Tigers Braves game, hopefully at an 8.5. I'm going to check right now as well to see if I have that line as an 8.5 yet. No, I still have a 9+ money, so I'm going to be moving on that as well. Those will be my action, and hopefully a Phillies -1.
Let's move very quickly here. 2 minutes a game through NBA and NHL. I'm ready to attack. So set up the table and let's roll.
Celtics 76ers. Joel Embiid and his appendix came back. It didn't do jack shit for them. I think this Philadelphia 76ers team is donezo, but there's 53% of the bets, 90% of the money on the Phillies here. So maybe people think they have some life left in them here. 12 opener is now 11.5 here.
Yes, and I imagine that everybody and their mama is expecting the Sixers to crumble here. But the big bets have come in on the Sixers. And even for a battle-tested character, team like the Celtics, that final spot could be. Oh, Okora was offered the job before Mattingly. Hear that, Jose?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Who reported it, Spoons?
So, with it all said and done, I want the Sixers here. They played horrific. And not only did they play so badly, but the Celtics shot 45.3% from 3. Look, the Celtics had a chip on their shoulder, and we backed them in Game 3 with the best bet and doubled up on first half full game. I don't know why I wasn't on the double. I should have had a third unit on it, but I didn't move on them in Game 4, and something that I continue to lament. But Boston sets a franchise record for threes in a playoff game. Edgecombe was 2-9 from the field for 6 points. Maxey took 3 shots in the first half. I think Maxey is accountable. So at first I was going to go first quarter full game. I do think that it's worth switching up to first quarter, first half. So that is going to be my plan. Now, we do know the ability for the Celtics to catch the second quarter, which is obviously in my head. But I'm moving on the Sixers, and I'm moving on them for more than a unit. I think, pretty simple. Whenever you get the outlier performance, it gives your team a very big edge. And they not only did the Celtics get the outlier performance from the perimeter, but the Sixers played as bad as they could possibly play with Embiid coming back for his first game. I mean, that's all explainable. Now I think that they go in with their season on the line and they play okay. They play well. And this is a double-digit dog that I'm going to be backing first quarter and first half. First quarter and first half for me. It was going to be first quarter and full game, but it's first quarter, first half. There's my guy BJ in the house. What up, Bruce Huncho? Great to see you, man. Jose, let's roll on.
All righty, let's roll on here. By the way, Spoons, I take everything he says with a grain of salt, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cora was like, how about I chill for about 2 weeks instead of jumping right into another job here? But very interesting. Not surprised at all that he got that job offer immediately. Very interesting. And by the way, Jimmy, I just learned that Don Mattingly's son is the Phillies general manager. I didn't know that. First ever father-son general manager combo in Major League Baseball history.
How incredible is your life if your dad's a professional baseball player? You either are a baseball player yourself, or if you're not good enough, you get a front office job.
Yep. You don't know
want to
shit.
get jealous of these assholes. Let's roll on.
52% of the bets and 86% of the money on the New York Knickerbockers here. This line really hasn't moved much. 6.5 is where we're at. No juice roll, just 1 cent of movement each way. It's tied 2-2, so this is a huge game for both sides here. Jimmy, what do you think?
We broke it down, and I think we put it on a silver platter. The public is going. Oh, we have pig milk play of the day copied and pasted. Thank you, Billy. I can't wait to talk about it. So to me, this is, and again, you guys don't need to cap NBA the way I cap it, but you have seen me not crushing NBA, but beating it every year with you guys. And we're talking, 600 to 800 bets a year, and all the bets put out before a game starts with the odds that are available at the time that we post them and things of that nature, all 1 unit bets and all that stuff. And so here, why would this line be so much bigger than it was? Not so much, but legitimately bigger than it was in games 1 and games 2. And it's because I think that they're interested in accumulating Atlanta money. Now we have, free bands play today. We have, heavy, action. So Dougie White's free bands play today is on Hawks +7. And I would imagine that people are looking at it and saying, oh God, I mean, 2 of these games were 1-point victories for the Hawks. We should take this number. It's big and beautiful. I disagree with it. I think this number is a massive number that's not moving. And I imagine we have 52% of the tickets right now on the Knicks. I imagine that goes down to 38 or 37. So I would like the fact that it's sitting here at 6. So I'm going to be on the Knicks. This is a big line. It's a big line. And then I expect to be on the Hawks in game 6. So the best way for that script, and we've cashed every single game. We didn't bet game 1, but we're 4-0 through games 2, 3, and 4 on this series. And I'm going to be on the Knicks. I'm going to be on the Knicks. And if this doesn't move off the 6.5, that's fine. If it moves down to 6, that's fine. If it moves further than that, I probably won't be on them. But this is a very telling number, opening at this number and not moving. So, I'm going to be back in Knicks. Now, I know we just gave you all this information with no statistical analysis breakdown. Knicks are shooting the ball nice in this series, 46.1 from the field and 37.6 from 3. The perimeter Atlanta Hawks shooting has, fallen off. Cat coming off the triple-double, giving him confidence. The Hawks with 19 turnovers. McCollum saying they just played better than us. Jalen Johnson, 14 points, not stepping up. This team shot 41% from the field and 24.4% from 3. And we talk so much about how good the Hawks are when they're on the run, when they're moving, and how many fast break points did they score in the fourth quarter? 0. Now, could they change this as the games get more important and we're in Madison Square Garden? I think it gets more difficult. I think it's going to get more. I think that's something that the Knicks know is that it's more difficult for teams to win at Madison Square Garden as the series goes on. Because say what we want about this Knicks team, but they are battle tested. Now they haven't won every battle, but they're battle tested, and it's going to be harder and harder and harder. So I am on, not yet, but I'm going to be on the Knicks. And the first half unders are really good in this series. But I think I'm just going to keep it clean and just be on the Knicks. I will also be very interested in live betting the Knicks. The one thing, though, is that you can kind of tell, do the Hawks have their perimeter shooting going on? And if they do, I might be a little more hesitant. Now, if they do, that's the only way you'll get a better line on the Knicks. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But I'm going to be on the Knicks here. Let's roll.
All right, let's roll on to our last basketball game. Spurs Trailblazers here. Man, as Jimmy, as a Spurs backer, Spurs future ticket holder, I want to see the Spurs take the hard part of that hand and just smack them in the mouth here. End this series. Let's rest for a few days. And as someone that has PTSD from the Celtics Knicks series last year, let's not play any more games than we have to. And I hope indeed that can be the case for our future sakes. I know I talked to you a lot about this future. We're so far away from it, but I text you. I feel like I text you about it every week. 75% of the bets, 95% of the money on the Spurs here. I'm seeing a 12 here. So this line on the screen is wrong. Don't worry, guys. 12 is what we see is what we see. 11.5 at Bovada, but 12 across the board.
I find this game difficult. I mean, I do have a script in my head where this, but of course it's so based on what we've just seen. It's just your subconscious is always playing tricks on you. So of course in my head, the Blazers end up with like 85, 86 points and they just give up in the second half. Why would I be thinking that? Because we just saw it. The Blazers have shown heart and character, and shout out to Thiago Splitter for the great job he's done. And I really believed in the Blazers in Game 4. The fact that I didn't get anything out of it was very annoying. And look, the Spurs they're big and they're bad and they're scary. And when they want to shut you down, they'll shut you down. I would like to go, look, if this is all for fun, I would bet Scoot over his point total after the goose egg from last game and 31 in Game 3. I don't find anything appealing in this game. I'm going to be investing legitimately in the Sixers game, and I'm going to have a unit on the Knicks, and I'll be watching this. I think that it's very reasonable that the Blazers get out of the gate fast and the Spurs don't care because they know that they can just lower the boom at any given moment. And that's a dangerous thing to have. So, but of course, I'm just saying that because I just saw it and my subconscious just messing with me. So I'm comfortable staying off the game. As Jose talking about, we have our futures. Right now, we have 95% of the tickets. Sorry, 95% of the cash, 75% of the tickets on the Spurs. Obviously, that makes me want to bet the other side, but I don't know if it's necessary here. Luce says Spurs going to smoke the Blazers tonight. The best bet by 2 points and get Spurs -3.5. So what is that? What quarter or first half? What do you? How are you breaking that down? And shout out to the Goracle in the house with the super chat. EuroLeague, ATP, NHL, all of the above here. Olympiacos moneyline, Valencia -1.5 at +106. Blocks moneyline +200. Zverev moneyline and Medvedev moneyline +148. Buffalo and Dallas moneyline parlay +151. And on Wednesday he's on Noskova at +140. Rob Free, there's a bunch of 11.5. Circa is hanging the 12. And Kong on Boston and San Antonio double results at -102. Oh. I don't. Where?
I think he's conflating because the screen says 5.5. It's 12.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 12. Okay, I think it's just carried over the lines from the last.
Okay, no worries.
I'm not sure why.
Okay, let's roll on to the National Hockey League, though. I'm going to leave the Spurs Blazers game off. I'm not close to anything here. I'm going to watch it with interest, but my eyes are going to be on that Oilers game, dude. Sixers first quarter, first half, and then the New York Knicks full game. My 3 bets in NBA today. Let's roll on.
I'm on Celtics second quarter. Shout out to you, Nasty Nate. Let's talk Bruins Sabres here, and these lines. I need to I don't know why these lines are all messed up right now, but minus 165 is what we have on the Buffalo Sabres here. Plus 145 for the Bruins. Total is at 6 here. Can't really use the market in this game as there is no market information, but do or die here for the Bruins after embarrassing loss last time out. Let me tell you what the money line movement is right now, Jimmy. We're seeing a minus 170 opener down to minus 162 at Bet Online.
Yeah, this is a very interesting. It's just such an interesting series. To think that the Sabres dominated them again without scoring a power play. Well, now Lindy Ruff said we did. It was just 2 seconds after the power play came up. But this is a team now that, I mean, they have not scored a power play goal in 15 games. Oh, sorry, 15. Is it how many games? So is there? So sorry. Wow. So we're at 25 games without a power play goal. Oh no, 13 man advantages, 22. Sorry, 35 power plays, 37 power plays overall. I had the game, how many games it's been on my last notes, but not on these. So they haven't scored a power play goal in 15. So they're dominating 5-on-5. So, you heard McAvoy, you heard Sturm talk about this was as bad of a game they could possibly play. As bad as a game as they could possibly play. We are on a real run right now here. We got off to a terrible start in the playoffs. But we're 8-2 in our last 10 bets in the NHL playoffs, and we're moving in the right direction. With all of this being said here, I think that the Boston Bruins first period is a great bet. Now, when I was placing it, I did question. I was like, why are you getting cute here? You're hot right now, betting full games and focusing on angles. But then I saw myself and I was like, I would run to make this bet in the regular season. And we've talked about the Philadelphia Flyers winning the 4th game. We hammered the Penguins for 2 units last game, a unit and a half in game 4. It's because it's very, very hard for teams to win that final game. And you have to ask yourself, has this group done it before? And that's why we are fading the Flyers, and we're going to keep fading the Flyers. And it's not that the Flyers are incapable of doing it. They just have never done it. And the Sabres have never done it either. We haven't seen them in the playoffs since 2016. We haven't seen them win a series since 2007. So here it's Boston Bruins first period. And I got the plus 122. It was a plus 120 at here at 365. It's still a plus 120. It's just sitting there. Coin saying Swayman was heated after Sunday's L, should bounce back. Swayman was upset. McAvoy was upset. Sturm was upset. I think they come out of a shot out of a cannon. And so Boston Bruins first period for me. Jose, let's roll.
Minnesota Wild, Dallas Stars next.
One last thing, Jose, sorry to interrupt you, but the last time the Bruins allowed 4 goals first period of playoff game was in 1991 against the Hartford Whalers. They're going to be shot out of a cannon here. Shot out of a cannon. Keep rolling.
Minnesota Wild versus the Dallas Stars here. We have minus 136 openers, now minus 128. Jimmy, I know you're happy about whichever team wins this because of your max bet on the over games in this series. So congratulations to you there. It was a huge game last time out. You've at least got a push. Let's see if we can't get a win here. No market information. What do you think?
Well, first off, shout out to our guy, Billy Friedrich in the house. We love him. We miss him. The pig milk play of the day. What the hell is it? Oh, it was he gave it to us late. It's Minnesota Wild, but that's not under my main notes. What the hell is it? It's the Wild plus 110. I remember it like it just happened because it did just happen. Shout out to Billy Friedrich, Minnesota Wild game 5 for sweet pig milk. look, I tried to do this before and it's not worked, but this would have been a series where you could have just bet overtime every game. And I know some cappers have, and they should continue to do that. I max bet the over 6 games. I think that these games are, despite the Wild carrying the play, Rupi Hintz being hurt, now Zuccarello hurt from Minnesota. I think Minnesota's the better hockey team. Now we're in Dallas. This is a Dallas team that has won big games, that has come back in series. They're battle tested, and Minnesota is not. So here I could understand anybody being on Minnesota Wild. I think they've outplayed Dallas in this series, but I do think it comes down to bounces. And when it comes down to bounces, and I've got a max bet on the over 6, which is, could be pushed, unfortunately. So I guess the best thing for me would be Dallas winning game 5, and then Minnesota we expect to win game 6. I wouldn't bet it because I max bet the over again. But I'm off of the spot here. I love the series. It's a great series, and wish I was more invested other than that max bet on the over 6 games. But so no action for me. The problem is Dallas is battle tested. And so they're here in the playoffs, and they have a 42.1% power play and an 84.2% penalty killing. Minnesota is playing much better 5-on-5. They've outscored Dallas 9-4, but they have a 15.8% power play and a 57.9% penalty kill. They're being out hit. But so what does that mean? It means that Dallas has intangibles, and intangibles are tricky to cap. So I'm not on Minnesota. I could understand being on Minnesota. Johnny Gunn says 5-on-5 play has been ass for the Stars. How many 5-on-5 goals do they have in this series? I gave you that number. It was so. Is it in these notes I have? Yes. It's 9-4. So the Stars have scored 4 goals, 5-on-5. No action here for me. Let's roll on.
All right, last game, and I was pretty surprised to see how big this line is, but it's McDavid, it's Draisaitl, and it's their backs against the wall, down 3-1 in Edmonton here, Jimmy. I'll just lay out and let you tell everyone about these Edmonton Oilers.
I thought that there was a chance that we'd show up and the line would be down to like minus 150 or minus 148. I imagine the Sharps are going to be on the Ducks. I had a fun conversation with, now we don't have time to wax, we've got to put a bow on the show, but I had a fun conversation with Spoon here, and he knew that, of course, I was going to be on the Oilers on the -1 line. And, he said it's the endowment effect bias for me. And, of course, endowment effect is if you own something, you overvalue it, right? Because you own it. And it feels like I've kind of, I made a lot of money off the Oilers. I haven't made enough. Like, I haven't made it to the holy grail. Like I had some really massive opportunities with the futures market with them that didn't come to fruition, but I've made a lot of money backing them when they're down. And here they are down 3-1. My reply to Spooner, and I loved him dropping the endowment theory on me, but is that, well, TJ has it too. He's bet the Ducks in every game. So he's going to bet them again because the same theory, this endowment theory is wreaking havoc on both of us in this. But what do I know about the Oilers? Now, they've only been down 3-1 once. They went down to Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals and beat them in Florida. And this team just handles situations. Why was I on the Golden Knights last night? Why did I bet them live at plus 240? It's because they do have veteran savvy. Who scored the overtime winner? Shea Theodore. Because, he has been in the biggest battles and he's succeeded in them. And you can count on that. And teams who haven't done that have to prove that they're capable of doing it because it's not easy, And so the Oilers here, AM says desperate move to go to Yari and it didn't work. It didn't work, 895 save percentage, which is exactly what you're getting from Connor Ingram. So it didn't fail. I didn't like the move personally, but we've seen it work. Knobloch has pressed the right buttons when he's gone to Pickard over, getting away from Skinner and moving on Pickard. So I trust Knobloch. I like Knobloch. I think he's a smart guy. Now, look, the Ducks can ruin everything, but I will invest that they're not capable of it. And I have only got 1 unit on it, because I was just so planning on moving live with full units if the opportunities arose. Maybe I should have had a little bit more than one unit on it pre-flop. Maybe I add to the investment here. So Billy Friedman says, "Oilers D is the problem, not goaltending." Now, first problem here is that the Ducks aren't afraid of the Oilers, so it's a problem. Like the Kings, were, and the Panthers weren't, and Edmonton went into Florida and beat them down 3-1. Look, we have proof of concept, so we bet it, and I'm going to add to it here. We have Justin on the team total over 3.5 for the Oilers. Robert Franklin, Draisaitl assist. Gauthier over 3.5 shots on goal. Carlson over 3.5 shots on goal. He's put that together plus 152. AM says the Oilers are cooked, in his opinion. This is going to be really fun because I expect to win this game, and then I expect to go into Anaheim and have a game for the ages, which is going to be so much fun to cap. But we have to get there first. So I'm on the Oilers -1 at -107, and I'm just thankful we didn't wake up and see -147 and me panicking here. Ram says Oilers have given up the lead 6 times this series. Last year, it took them 3 rounds to give the lead 6 times. Yeah, they're not as good as they were last year, Ram. They're not as good. We have no futures on the Oilers. They're not, but I expect them to win here. So the National Hockey League, 8-2 in our last 10 bets here. It is the Oilers on the -1 line, the Boston Bruins first period, and no action here on Wild Stars. We got to put a bow on the proceedings. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Stacks play today number 1, Astros Orioles over 9 at -115. Play today number 2 for Stacks, Royals Athletics over 9.5 plus 100. Free bands play today, Hawks +7. 9 Legacy flank stake play today is the Twins money line. Pamper Pop parlay of the day is a massive one. Rays first 5 plus a half, Reds first 5 minus a half, St. Louis first 5 over 4, Boston money line plus 118, Atlanta money line, Angels first 5 minus a half, Twins first 5 plus a half, Yankees first 5 under 3.5, Oakland first 5 minus a half, and the Dodgers on the run line. We have just my 2 cents play today. Nice cash for him yesterday, going after plus money spots. Shout out to TC and all of the Locker Room Talk Nation. Nationals plus 158. And we have birthday picks for Wasabi J and Nut Flush Allen. Wasabi J and Nut Flush Allen birthday picks. Jose, review your action and let them know your birthday pick for them today.
Sure. I am on the Celtics second quarter. Shout out to Nasty Nate. I'm on the Phillies -1. I got that at -118. Shout out to Rob Thompson. I am also on the A's money line -105. I am on the Padres money line -105. And I'm on the Detroit Tigers plus 105 there. I'm also going to bet the over in that game. I'm worried if I don't bet it now, I'm going to forget. But I'm going to just hold. It's 9 plus 105 right now. Hopefully we get an 8.5 in a few hours, in an hour or so. We'll see. But my birthday pick, that's a great question, Jimmy. I think it'll come in the game that I am doubling up in, and I will take Casey Mize and the Detroit Tigers plus 105 as my birthday pick to Nut Flush Allen and Wasabi J. Shout out to you, Nut Flush. Shout out to you, Wasabi. Appreciate you guys, and hopefully we can see you both at Publipalooza very soon.
Look, it has to be the Oilers. Has to be the Oilers. So it's the Oilers. You could bet it in regulation. I prefer the -1 line because I want the push to be alive. I also think for Wasabi J and for Nut Flush Allen that if there's only a unit left, let's say, for you to bet, don't put it all pre-flop. Be ready to live bet the Oilers as well in case they go down here. And if the Ducks win, I will tip my cap. But it is the Edmonton Oilers. It has to be the Oilers. It has to be. So thank you guys. Shout out to Wasabi J and Mikey Allen, Lou Chase Fox, giving them love as well. Lou Chase loving the A's money line. That's the birthday pick from Lou Chase Fox. The Solution, Justin McKelvey. Thank you. DC Capper, the Truth Teller, Dizzy Donut, Robert Franklin, Rem Most. Great group. 9 Legacy, thank you. Thank you to all that you do for us, everybody in the chat, and you as well, Jose. Shout out to Low Key, Nicholas Handy, Coin, AM, Nick, let's just go out and get this money. El Dorado, custodian in the house. Lex Steele. Let's go get this money. Morgan Spooner. This was really fun. There's so many interesting aspects of this card that we can talk about for hours. It's very, very fun, and thankful for the opportunity to rock with you guys each and every day. It gives me so much, so I will always be thankful. Jose, can you please bless our action and lead us into the future?
Sure. Let's get after it, everyone. Good luck. By the way, if you guys saw that little house with the QR code on the screen, please scan it and go potentially book yourself a nice stay at Harbor Acres Cottages as well. Busy day at Pub Sports Radio. We have the sesh starting in about 15 minutes. Cab's already crying to me about stuff. I need help. So I have to go do that here after this. So shout out to you guys for watching. We appreciate that. And don't forget Troy Torrance on Tuesday, Thursday at Closing Lines, Wednesday, Friday, Monday is our guy Peter Loshak. And those shows have been pretty awesome to watch. Shout out to you guys. And by the way, if you haven't already, go follow Pete on Twitter. Go look at the videos that he's been posting recently. We're getting Pete to do a little bit more promo, and I think he's got something with his videos of him walking the streets of New York.
That was phenomenal. That last the suspense, the storyline. I thought it was incredibly well done.
Yeah, he can tell a tale. That Peter Loshak, he can tell a tale. Shout out to you guys. Let's go make some money today, and let's go leche y los bookmakers.
It's easier to sleep in the black. When you're losing your ass and feeling so, you know what to do. Tune in to Pub Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride, you're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter, these shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Debbie and the fam. Dutch wine time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button, don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.